Yeah, we lost over 1 million coins in about 6 hours. It's a rough one. Black Friday does mean business. I've been saying this for a while. Let me show you today, ladies and gentlemen, what we lost it on, why we lost it, but more importantly, how we're going to make it back. And I've got a little trick up my sleeve. You'll see a little bit later. I'm excited about this one. Comment down below, boys. What is the most you've ever lost in a day or on a single trade? Because I know a few of us have been stung a few times. But let's jump into the market, okay? Can you see, first of all, live transfers on screen? Now, I know if you're on PC, you might laugh at me for this, but only having 5 million active transfers on a weekend day is seriously low. It is the lowest we have seen all year on FC26. We're normally sat at about 7, 8, or 9 million on a weekend. So what does that mean, right? It means less people are playing the game right now. Less people are playing the game, less demand for cards, and the market is a bit of a shambles all over the case. And it's why we lost so many coins, right? There's other reasons, but it's part of the reason we lost so many coins. And boys, you can see it happening on the market, right? This Nico Williams, he has rebounded to 35,000 coins, but he was less than 30,000 coins at a very specific time last night, and he was 30,000 coins for at least an hour. And if you look at his 14-day graph, it is absolute low for him, right? The market is in shambles, and we expect this. We've been saying this a lot. Nothing is new to us now. We know this is happening with Black Friday, but again, part of the reason why we lost so many coins, and I just want you boys to look out for it, because there's a lot of opportunities right now that look like amazing opportunities, but they're not really such. Another part of the reason we lost so many coins on the cards is just because of this, right? A lot of people are just not buying because they know that they want to save their coins for Thunderstruck, and I'm guessing you boys are the same. I don't know. Like, if you have coins right now, why would you want to spend it on cards that you know are going to drop when there's better cards coming in a week? I do get that. However, I'll show you why I made the trade, right? I still think there was value to be made in it. Now, looking back, it's obvious why it didn't work, but you could say that about any trade. But I'm still optimistic. You guys can kind of tell, right? I'm still optimistic because I know we can make it back. And already, boys, even in a day, we've made like 100 to 200, possibly 500,000 coins back. I'll explain all that later. Let me jump into what we lost on first, because that's the most important. Yep, that is right. It is Team of the Week and 2 cards specifically. Now, I know I was not the only one stung by this, because these prices look too good to be true. Can you guess the 2 cards? It is not too difficult, to be honest. The first card was Tiggy Reinders. When did I buy this card, okay? And let me give you the reasoning, because I don't think this was a bad trade, but obviously it turned out to be awful. If we go to the hourly and take a look at Thursday, right? Can you see this massive drop-off from his overnight when he came out on Wednesday into Rival Rewards, which was about here. Rival Rewards was around here, right? So you've got to imagine, I'm looking at this graph. Rival Rewards was around here, and it seems like he was at his absolute low. He was the day before, which obviously is a day they come out, but he was 700k, 500k, 400k, and he did just keep dropping. But the reason we looked at him around Rival Rewards, very specifically, was because of this card here. This card is still holding 1 million coins in value and selling for 1 million coins in value, right? Yes, it has Tiki Plus, and it has 1 more dribbling. You can kind of see there, it has 1 more dribbling than the Team of the Week, but that is it, right? Incisive is an amazing play style, and I thought, right, 300 to 600,000 coins difference between his Cornerstones card and his Team of the Week is a little bit silly when they're basically the same card, and some people even prefer the Incisive play style, so we went for it. And as you can see, boys, we bought about 4 of these cards at around 400k, and they went right down to nearly 300k, so that's already alone nearly 400,000 coin loss, and that wasn't even the main loss, right? The main loss was on João Neves. Again, boys, I've cleared the transfer list of these cards because basically I do not want to look at them any longer. Do you know what we bought this guy for, guys? We bought him for Thursday at the same time, around 25,000 coins. With the same logic, he even showed demand from 29 to 32,000 coins. So we thought we were safe buying at around 25,000 coins. We were getting bids and snipes below. And as you can see, he's down to 15. We actually sold at about 20, but it meant we lost 5 to 6,000 coins per card, and I picked up a lot of these cards. I don't know what the exact number was, but it was nearly unassigned. I think it might have been unassigned. It was crazy, and when combined with the Reinders card that I just showed you there, the loss was around 1 million coins. And you know what happens? We made 1 million coins on the silvers, but you're going to lose trades as well. And we lost 1 million coins, but we've already started to make it back. Let me show you, boys, because this is where it gets fun. Because you lose coins on the game, and easily you could stop trading and pack it in, but no, that's not what you do. You're always going to lose coins. Let's jump over back to the account and show you what we've started to do already to rectify that mistake. Right, back on the account. If you were on the stream yesterday, you'll see we were all over icons and the market was slow. The market was slow because of that number right there. You can see it, right? The live transfers. The market is literally slow until Black Friday. But that doesn't deter us. If we jump onto the transfer list, you'll see we're back up at 1 million coins. We're not fully liquid yet, of course. And you'll see icons. We went with icons. And now, don't get me wrong, for a Friday night, they were slow. But I do always say, on a budget, boys, learning icon trading is super important. We picked up a Yashin. I don't think it'll show the bought for prices. It won't. Yashin for 395, sold for 439. Another one we bought for 400, sold for 449. So that's about 50k right there. We got a Xavi at 466 and sold for 513. So you're looking again about 20, 30k right there. I think we got the Casillas, I don't know exactly, but I think it was about 422-ish. It was around that price. So again, like 15-ish k there. So already on the first few trades, you're looking at what? 50, 70, you get an 80, 89, 90k. Then you got the Drogba, which we bought for 445 and sold for 495. This was all just flipped on the stream on Friday. So again, that's another nice little 25, 30,000 coins, whatever it is there, which again is taking us up to about 100, 110, 120k. We bought the Marcelo for 700. And by the way, you could have actually got more for this Marcelo. But boys, what I'm telling you on Black Friday is you need to be quick flipping these cards. So I think I could have got more for Marcelo, but I'm not risking trying to get this card at like 790, right? He was a little bit less than this last night, but I guarantee I could have got a 790 sale. I didn't want to risk it. I don't know how the market's moving. Black Friday's coming, like I keep saying. So we just got the card out quickly for 760 and made around 20, 25,000 coins there. And then the rest of these icons here are lazy sale icons. This is the method I've showed before, boys. So we bought all of these icons for 70,000 coins or below. We actually got him specifically for 67,000 coins, which, as you can see, we sold for 78.5. So nearly sort of 8,000 coins profit. And they basically just lazy sell. None of these cards sell for this price they're currently listed for. But as you can see, they eventually do sell just randomly to people who are lazy buying icons, which is mental to me. But people lazy buy icons, apparently. So already here, we're looking at when these icons sell, which they will eventually, 130 to 150,000 coins in profit back from our 1 million coins. And that was on a slow day. But I do have, like I say, another little trick up the sleeve, right? Because I got, let's say, lucky last night, okay? And I do think this is a big tip for the week going forward. And it's all about Evo investing. We've seen already, if we jump over to Footbin again, a huge part of the market is Evo investing this year, right? Because what you're getting on the Footbin popular page is you're getting Rashford, for example, right? Rashford, as I'm sure you boys will have seen, that Evo that came out yesterday is insane. And he fluctuated, like, look at this, ridiculous. He went from 18, like, from the spike, from 5, then back down to, what, 15, then up to 24. He actually hit, I'm sure you boys would have seen if you were live on content, I think he hit 30,000 coins on console. Stupid, right? He then went back down to 18,000 coins. Now he's back up at 23. Ridiculous. Evo trading means coins this year. And sadly, even if you don't like leaks, you need to learn this. But what have we not had? And what did I go for, okay? Now, this is not the only tip of the video. I think you boys can replicate this, and I'll jump into how, because I did get very lucky. But you'll see here, boys, what did we get this morning? This was about an hour ago as I'm recording this. We got a Lucas Paqueta leaked upgrade. Now, all this means is, this is a, like, not obviously specific to Paqueta, but there's a new upgrade, a new Evo. I think it's centre mid or cam. I don't know if it says, but I believe it is centre mid or cam. I've gone off it. It's not going to show us there, is it? No, I think it's centre mid or cam, right? But essentially, we got a Paqueta upgrade, right? A leaked Evo. And as you can see, he's about 15,000 coins. Now, he will fluctuate up and down. And he's gone from this morning, when he wasn't leaked, to 13,000 coins. He's leaked, it's 15,000 coins. The Evo, first of all, doesn't look too hype. It doesn't look like the Rashford Evo or the Marmoush Evo. It looks a little bit tamed down. It doesn't even say stat upgrades. It just says playstyle plus some skill moves and weak foot and rolls. I don't actually think it's that hyped. However, if we jump back to the console, we did get a little bit lucky, because what we actually did was, last night, I went all in, or kind of all in, on Lucas Paqueta. Now, I can assure you, boys, I do not have any leaks or anything. The logic behind this was that we have not had a centre mid or cam Evo in time. I talked about this a lot on stream, you boys will have seen, right? We've not had a centre mid or cam Evo in time. We've not had one in ages. And he is 84 rated. He's a centre mid and cam, so he covers both. 5-star, 4-star, Brazil, Premier League, a hyped player. He has okay play styles, but he definitely needs a boost. As you can see, he's got tech and incisive. He definitely needs a boost. I think the playstyle plus that's leaked currently is long pass plus. And again, that's not great, right? So I don't think this card hits 20 or 30,000 coins. But give him a few more playstyles. Give him ping, give him ticky, give him tricks there. Give him something else, right? Even give him a slight stat boost, which I'm not even sure is the case. And this card can, of course, go from what we bought at between 12 and 13,500 coins, which we bought for all night. He was already up a little bit, which was a good sign that he was probably going to get an Evo, because a lot of these cards being up often means the Evo leakers are leaking them in the Discord. And as you can see, he's up about 2,000 coins from what we bought at, and we got a lot of them. We're actually unassigned on them at the minute. We're not too far unassigned. We are unassigned on these cards. I'm going to try and hold out for sort of 16, 17,000 coins. We'll see if we can get that. The Evo doesn't look too high, but let me show you how you boys can replicate that. All that trade was based off was essentially what the Evos we've had and what we know is coming. So, Evos we've had recently are just not centre mid and cam. We've got right wing, left wing silver, CDM silver, centre back. We've had a lot of left back and centre back stuff. We've got a left wing Evo. We, of course, had the striker Evo that's just expired with the El Capitan one, so we were not going to get a striker. So, the main positions we've not had in a while was centre mid, cam, and possibly CDM. But do you remember the big fella Evo that a lot of people put Pogba in? So we've even had a CDM one kind of recently, and centre mid and Cam has just been neglected, especially Cam. So we went with the Lucas Paqueta, right? All you've got to do is look which Evo it has been the longest since we've had. So what is the last position we've had? Look at 84 to 85 ratings. I imagine 85 rated Evos are going to start getting rolled out on Black Friday because EA loves to upgrade the power curve. So I think 85 rated cards are fine. Look for cards near fodder price or discard. So his discard's about 10, 11,000 coins. He's near discard. And look for players that have a lot of hype, a lot of links, and a good base card. 5-star, 4-star. He's Brazil Premier League, right? All that good stuff. So we went with it. Now, we're probably going to do really well off this trade. We're probably going to make 200, 300, 400,000 coins. But we're not stopping there because, as you know, if you can do a little bit of maths, that'll only take us back to 500,000 coins of the 1 million. So what are we doing for the rest of this week? How are we going to make the 1 million back before Black Friday so we can go all in on something on Black Friday? Black Friday's a coin maker, but of course you need coins to make coins. So what else are we doing? The first, the most important one is the one we've said a few times. So I'm not going to harp on it, but it's the Black Friday club stock. I'll leave a link to the video in the description, but it's buying cards like these. Oh my God, he's still up, right? This is crazy. This is a story, this one. But yeah, it's buying cards that will fit good SBCs that go up on Black Friday when EA release flash SBCs. We've got a whole club stock link in the free Discord, which you can find in the description. But essentially, it's not actually that hard, right? It's strong nations, strong league, strong positions, cards at discard. So a lot of people do like silver rares that are English because all of these are really good for SBCs, and they'll just go and pick one up at 150 coins. I guess not 150, it's going to be 300 coins, isn't it? They're going to go pick one card up at 300 coins, literally every single one. They'll get one of each, and they'll just throw them in the club and forget about it. Mainly the men, because often the men just do better for some reason. Some of the women from the Women's Premier League can do well, but a lot of the men do well from any league because people use these championships and the, you know, League 1, League 2 to complete the SBCs, the flash SBCs. So a lot of people do that. Look, we've got a full video on that you can watch. The reason I think it's funny is, specifically, if you've seen, boys, we put a TikTok out on Maguire, right? And it was not actually about Maguire. We basically put this out saying about this Black Friday club stock. And if you didn't see, what happened was this Maguire went to 10,000 coins on PC. I just used him as an example in the video. And I think everyone thought I was saying go and invest in Maguire. So yeah, don't do that. He's just one of the cards that I would have picked up at like 300, 350 coins. And apparently people went all in on Maguire. So that's interesting. A lot of you guys will have done the Black Friday club stock, or you just want more active methods. So that is what we're going to talk about. And essentially, there are a couple things I would look out for. Number one, you can do today. Today is Saturday, and I still think you've got one more day of being able to do sort of high-budget trading. So you can do icon trading like we were doing. You can fluctuation trade some of the like out-of-pack promo cards. And I think this is one last day where you can really look at this, okay? We've got another day of Weekend League tomorrow. Of course, we'll get sell-off today, so I would look at this after content. But you can definitely trade these. These showed, as you can see from our transfer list, great demand last night, and it was very possible to trade them. So I don't mind that. And again, Saturday, like I say, last day for it. It is okay. It is okay. I'm very cautious because obviously we're getting towards Black Friday, but I still think that is fine today on the Saturday. And there is one more thing I think you can specifically look at on Saturday. You can do a lot on Saturday today, but there's one more specific thing, which is the FC Pro cards. Essentially, boys, this is Xerxes went from, what was he this morning? 45,000 coins up to 90,000 coins. I think he actually got a bit higher. If we just try and find my Twitter, I think I posted this. I swear he was higher than this. Yeah, look at this. He got to 92, 93, 94,000 coins. It seems to be the peak. He might have just got a little bit higher, but that was the peak of the card, right? If you go and look at him, right? 40,000 coins to 90,000 coins. Why is this? Because these cards are live and they actually are playing on Monday. The pros linked to some of these cards, not all of them, but some of these cards are playing on Monday and Tuesday. I think he is linked specifically to Manu, and I think Manu might play on Tuesday. I'm not sure exactly. I think he plays on Tuesday. We know we've got Tex, who has Nunes, and we've got Vergang. No, Vergang has Nunes, and Tex has Dan James. They are both playing on the Monday, I believe. So that is today, Saturday. They're playing on the Monday. And you can go and see this, by the way. If you want to go and see this, you can see it on the cards, and you can see why people are investing in these cards. Now, they're not great base cards. This Nunes card, not that one. This Nunes card went from like 180,000 coins to like 240,000 coins. He's got a good base card in terms of low driven, 90 pace, 86 shooting. He's definitely missing a few things. But if you go to this page here, they play 5 games on the Monday or on the Tuesday, whenever they're playing. So you can earn 10 points. So a lot of these cards, like Vergang's Nunes, will maybe get a +1 skill move or weak foot and a +1 overall. So you're going to be looking at a Nunes, probably who's 4-star, 4-star, and 88 rated, which obviously is why people started to invest in these cards and they flew up overnight. So what do you do on Saturday? Keep an eye out on these cards for fluctuations. They are live cards that go live very soon. You might see one more time, like that they get sold off later tonight on the Saturday night. So keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on the cards that play on Monday and Tuesday. You can go and check the pros on the card there. You can see which pro they are linked to. Like I say, Dan James is Tex, and he's obviously like a very good pro. He's one of the better pros. You can see their world ranking as well, I believe. If we just find Daniel James here, you can see the world ranking of the pro. Nice. on the card, and it'll give you a little sense, if you don't follow the pro scene, at least who is slightly better than other people, which, you know, is interesting. It's like gambling on players. You can see Tex there, world ranking number 12. He is playing on the Monday, I believe, and I think his first game is against Vergang, although I guess they play against everyone. And he could get, again, skill mode with weak foot and a +1 overall. So you can see a Dan James, 87 with 4-star, 4-star. They could also go 3-star, 5-star. We don't know. I don't think it upgrades both of them. I think they'll just pick one. So that is happening. They're a great look Saturday. But what are we looking at into Sunday and the rest of the week? Because that is really important as well. I think talking about Sunday, you've got one more potential for live cards, which is, of course, these UCL cards, boys. Now, these are already heavily invested. We've seen some drops on some of them yesterday. This Dennis man was like 37. He's dropped down. Now, these are playing Liverpool in the week, and that, even though Liverpool stink, I know, boys, we stink, but he will be not very hyped because they're playing Liverpool. There's a couple cards with good games. The guys like Napoli are playing Karabag. And I know you're going to get Karabag fans saying that's a tough game, but boys, let's be honest. In the Champions League, Karabag is fodder. They'll probably beat Napoli now, but you get what I mean, right? And you can go and check all of these cards on Footbin. You can go to the squads and keep an eye on these prices as well. Obviously, the Europa League cards are just fine. This Hoyland card has fluctuated from like low 70s to mid 70s just constantly at the minute. 75, he's actually gone to 79, then back down to 74. So he seems to be a little bit more hyped. And if you see a bit of sell-off on these cards on either the Saturday or the Sunday, these games are on the Tuesday and Wednesday this week. So you can, of course, go and look for some of these UCL cards. Now, they're already heavily invested, and you're going to try and sell all of them before they play. Do never, never, never hold these cards into the games. Obviously, they can rise big if they get an unexpected win, but you are literally gambling at that point. Kone's a great one. Matson's a great one. Igor Jesus can be a great one. They've all shown a lot of demand recently. And like I say, if you are on a low budget, it is no need to worry. Keep an eye on this Dennis man. I know they're playing Liverpool, but if you do see some big sell-off on this card, genuinely, I would not be surprised if PSV score first against Liverpool and then he shoots back up to like 40,000 coins. So that is an interesting one. Apart from that, boys, on Sunday and throughout the week, it might just be a low budget week. You might be looking at filters. If you're not on 1 million plus coins, this is probably where your time should be. Sunday and Saturday will be a great day for it because essentially they're both weekend league days. I have no idea who's put Hunter on Kirkes. The low IQ community never fails to amaze me, right? But yeah, you can look at some of these filters, right? They were slow yesterday on Friday with the lack of transfers on the market, so maybe stick to after content time. You can, of course, try and do the special card filter that we'll always love to show. It seems like some idiots broke that recently. Again, low IQ community striking again. There's just... Oh, okay, to be fair, Lajuli's now been took off the market a little bit. There was about 100 of this card on the market with a shadow on the other night. So that looks like it is a possibility again, boys. You can take a look at this and try and win some deals. We've got this method explained in other videos, and I'll link all that at the end of the video. But yeah, you can look at some methods there as well, right? They are great to look throughout the week because they are low risk, boys. When we're talking Black Friday, I know it's a little bit boring, but we're talking low risk. There is one thing you can do that is slightly more risk, and that is Evo investing. And it's what I want to end the video on in terms of the last bit of advice for you, because I think it's the most interesting, the most coins possible for Black Friday. And I do think it is the one thing you can do this week, the one exciting thing you could do this week and make some coins, like the Lucas Paqueta that we have done quite well on. Essentially, boys, all I would do is go to Footbin or whatever site and go to players, put the max rating in, I would say 85. I do think we're going to get 85 rated Evos at Black Friday. Do I know that? No. But I do think we are going to get them, okay? Bit of my gut, you know, you can go 84s if you want to play it safe, but I do think we're going to get 85s. You can then sort by the Footbin rating or whatever meta rating just to try and get some of the better players and start looking at some of these special cards or gold cards and just see which cards you think we're going to get an Evo for next. So, of course, we've just got to get a centre mid one, so you might want to avoid that unless you want to get him very, very quickly. We had a centre back one, we had a full back one, we've, of course, had a left wing one. So maybe next looking for a CDM, you're looking for maybe another big goalkeeper one, possibly another big right winger one, even possibly another striker one, although we did get the El Capitan, right? But they love a striker Evo. And go and check some of these cards, right? We've not had a right wing Evo since the one that was, I think, called Winged Wizards that was not great. It was okay. So maybe a Trinity Rodman, if she gets a right wing Evo, you could see her go to 5,000-6,000 coins. Now, do I think you should go all in on one card? I did it with Paqueta, but it's very, very risky if the card's not at fodder price. So stick to the cards that are at fodder price, right? You've got this Rodrigo Mora here, who could be a bit of both. You could invest in him for the Europa League games this week, and he also could fit a cam striker or left wing Evo, which again, we've recently had the left wing one. But he could fit another cam Evo. He might fit the same one as Paqueta. We don't know. It looks to be 84 max, but you can just keep an eye on some of these cards, right? If you want to go 84, then swap the rating to 84. But I do think there's loads of cards. You don't even have to mass invest in, but just club stock. If we get a right wing Evo that's 85 on Black Friday, can you imagine the price of this Oscar Bob card? He has been very, very hyped, but he's always been underpriced. Give this card a playstyle plus. Give him 85 to 90 shooting. Give him a little bit of a stat boost. Dangerous card that people love, love, love. So there is a lot of opportunity with Evo investing, but the advice is go and find your cards because you're almost, the only way to do this is to beat the leakers. You're just gambling essentially, which is why if you're mass investing, you need to choose a really, really close to discard card. This Mahrez card, again, really interesting. Saudi is great this year. Give this Mahrez a right wing evo that gives him 90 pace or a playstyle plus. And again, it is very dangerous. So go and pick your cards. Go and have a look at meta rating. Choose who you like. And my one big tip is either club stock one of each or mass invest at a card that is at discard. You cannot mass invest at a card that is not, because going into Black Friday, so many cards are going to fall in price. If you choose the wrong card, you'll be losing 1 million coins like me, so be very careful. Through all of this, boys, be liquid for Black Friday. Please, God, no matter what you do, low budget, high budget, Evo investing, be liquid for Black Friday. Try and be liquid by Friday morning at the absolute latest. You're going to need them coins, and if you're not sure what we're going to be doing around Black Friday, why it's so hyped, why there's so many coins to be made, don't worry. Drop a subscription to the channel. Drop a little subscribe on the button below. We'll be walking you through it. And why not drop a like when you're down there? It helps us out. Right, let me leave you with this, boys. I'll put 2 videos on screen. You've got the 0 to 1 mil guide down there, or maybe down there. And you've got the 0 to 500k guide down there. The 0 to 500k is more recent, so I'd actually recommend going with that one. Go and watch that and get your coin total ready for Black Friday so we can make some coins in time for the Christmas promo, boys. But until next time, like always, I will see you all in a bizzle.